What's going on, guys? 8BigGlitch79 here. It's a rainy day. Perfect time for a drive down to Pennsylvania for too many games. Let's hit the road and let's go. So this is just heading down the road from Massachusetts down to Pennsylvania. It was about a 4-hour and 40-minute drive. Took the way of George Washington Bridge, which was the only place I hit any kind of slowdown of traffic, but it wasn't stop dead, so it was pretty good and smooth sailing otherwise. So it wasn't that bad of a trip my first time. Here is the hotel room. It was a 2 Homes by Hilton. It was like a small apartment. It was great. Since I was staying there for 4 nights, it really made it feel like a home away from home. Very comfortable. I highly recommend. Very clean, great service. There's a little pull-out table there, and then over to the right here you'll see a sofa that turns into a sleeper, and 42-inch TV, and another desk area next to the closet. The view was alright. There was a mall within walking distance, and yeah, it was great. This is me walking in on Saturday morning. I didn't take any footage of Fridays because it was my first time and it was a bit overwhelming, and I kind of got in there a little bit earlier than I should have. I talk about that in my pickups video coming out soon. So I just wanted to take it all in on Friday. I just took some pictures, that was it. So my filming is Saturday and Sunday. This is the first game booth, kind of gives you an idea. This one was pretty big. It was 2 sides. Here you can see the Super Nintendo and the NES, and there was Game Boy. Over on this back side, I'm coming around to, is where they had all their systems. They had pretty much every system you could think of. They got the Sports Edition Dreamcast right there, Master System 2, a regular Master System, PlayStation, all different models, the ColecoVision, 3DO. They have some box systems there. They even had the TurboGrafx. There's an Intellivision, an Atari 2600. Oh, and then there's this Vectrex. I've been always wanting to get a Vectrex. They had this one for $250, but I didn't want to pull the trigger on one big item for that much, at least for now. That boxed Sega Genesis arcade stick, spoiler alert, I picked that up on Sunday. You'll see that in my pickups. Here's just another example. I was going to get a PSP game they had in the glass case over there on the left, but they had 3 copies of it and I kept an eye on it because they wouldn't budge on the price. So I tried on Sunday late, but they were all gone by then. So this convention and floor was pretty big. I mean, I made several laps and would always see something different every time. Here's shadow box art. This is really fascinating and cool. A little pricey, but I would love to pick one of these up. They're great works of art here. I love this Zelda Link to the Past logo, and then there's a Sonic one coming up, the title screen. I believe it's a Sonic 2. And there, right there. They are really, really cool in the shadow box art. Here's just another example of another game booth. Here's you got your individually priced NES games, and then they have some boxed ones, some GameCube games first, and then some boxed ones coming up here. I saw this Castlevania, and I think it was about $90, that complete in box Castlevania, but it was beautiful. Almost pulled the trigger on that. Then over here you got your box Super NES at this table, and then $3 NES games, the real common ones. Your PS1 games here. Then back here is where the YouTubers were all set up. You got at the NES Punk right now. This was early on Saturday. He was signing meetings with some people. He had his book for sale and some t-shirts. Here's a picture of me and him. He was really cool to talk to, really down to earth. I love listening to his podcast. Oh, here's John Riggs. He was selling some of his hacked games. I've been following his channel for years now. I got one of those games you'll see in the pickup. He was staying at my hotel, and we saw each other at breakfast every morning. We would always say hi and how was it going, how's the con going, and all that. So it was cool to see him every morning. There's a picture of us together. This is the canvas art table. I visited this several times just to look at the art. It was gorgeous artwork on canvas. We had some of them were the menu screen, title screen of the games, and then they had like the box art, and then a couple custom pieces. I could have bought like a ton of these. I visited the booth so much, so every time I came by, they got to recognize me. I did purchase a couple of things you'll see in the pickups. I couldn't pass up. It was great. I love that Contra there, the Zelda, Final Fantasy, and I love the Castlevanias here, including the Famicom one. They had ones that over here on the far left there. Those ones actually lit up with a switch, and when you push the corner, it would play some of the music from the game. Those were a little bit more pricier, but they were really cool. Here I'm just asking him for his card so I could put it in the video. I asked ahead of time if it was alright to film, because I found it interesting. There was another guy who had some nice artwork, and I said I'd like to film for my YouTube channel, and he said absolutely not. I found that kind of interesting, why somebody wouldn't want free advertising. He had an Etsy page. I could have posted that and people could have bought stuff, but so I didn't film that one. This is Nintendo. His channel is all about Nintendo related stuff. I just love his suit here. It's all Mario Nintendo theme. I asked for his picture here, and then I asked the guy to take a picture of us together. Here's just a quick shot. I saw a copy of the Nintendo World Championship cart. Wasn't the only one I saw there. And here, of course, is another one, and a boxed little Samson for $25,000. I was just a few bucks short, but oh well. Here's a quick shot of the free play arcade section. They had all these in here, these candy cabs and other games, all set to free play. Just come in, play as long as you want. There's tables in the back there. We're all set up with CRT TVs and a bunch of systems and old computers that you can play with as well. I didn't spend much time in here. I was more interested in the booths and panels and things like that. I think Saturday morning I spent a few minutes in here, played a few of the games. But it's really cool that they have something like this set up. The lights are all on here, but later in the day they turn the lights off, so it looks a little bit more arcadey in there. Here's just a quick shot of some of the old computers that you could run through. They weren't on right now, but they had PlayStations hooked up, Xboxes, Nintendos, Super Nintendos, all that. I got footage of all that, but I didn't include it because this would be a 2-hour video if I did. I just wanted you to get an example. You can see way back there, it keeps going, all different systems. Here's one of the first panels I went to. This is the AVGN panel, the Angry Video Game Nerd, James Roth right there talking. It was so cool to see him in person. It was amazing. This is the second panel they did. This is the rental review panel. another series that they do on their YouTube, Cinemassacre. It was funny that Tony wore his Jafar outfit because he said he spent too much money on it to not wear it. So, oh, here's a great cosplay of Samus from Metroid. It was amazing. Here's somebody who's supposed to be, I think, Jon Snow. Here you got Luigi. Me with Chun-Li. Oh, this was the after party on Saturday night. This is the Rebel Gaming Club. I jumped up on there and sang the Mega Man song with them. Dan got a kick out of it. He was having fun. These guys are hilarious. I love their stuff on YouTube and their album. Dan O'Day, the middle singer there, he was from a band, River City Rebels, which just actually reunited and going to be coming out with a new album. They're a band I used to follow back in the day. Here's a quick shot. I brought the camera up, singing Contra here. That was a fun time. There's a shot on Saturday morning. I saw two of them here. This is Friday. There's Dan O'Day, Joe from BGM, Back in the Day Gamer. Here's Jay from The Game Chasers. This is one of the Wolf brothers from Wolf Den, and it's the other brother here. I missed their panel, but I ran into them on the floor shopping. Here's the Nintendo photo I got. The John Riggs again. I doubled that. This is Joe, Goes Retro, his channel. It's cool to run into him. This is Justin, who's in the Cinemassacre, but actually helps run this whole thing, this whole convention. There's Tony from Cinemassacre, and Kieran. This is Collecting with Corey. He was just there as a shopper, and I ran into him. There's Russ Lyman, who you've probably seen in the previous videos of mine. Discart, he was fun to talk to. Waz, I ran into him on my way out at the end of the day. And Keith Apicary here. Just another shot of Dan O'Day and the Back in the Day Gamer. That was Sunday morning. Not Sunday, that was Friday morning. They got me in early, an hour early for everyone else. And here's the great Megadan 29. He was the first one I ran into from the retro crew. Here's Captain Algebra. And we got J-Love. If you can't smile around J-Love, you got problems. Oh, and Linda, aka the Gamer Girl. Oh, Gamer Bros. Bill Twerpin. And TBelly is in the building. TBelly and Linda. That was our last day. J-Love again on our last day. Megadan on our last day. This was the line to get signings with AVGN. I didn't make the cut, so I had to take pictures from a distance. Unfortunately, it was one of the things I was looking forward to do, was getting some stuff signed by James Rolfe and Mike Matei, but unfortunately they kicked the line out and I didn't make it. So there's always next year, or another con maybe. And that's me, end of the day, looking sad because it was all over. So that was Too Many Games 2019. I hope you enjoyed.